Howdy, welcome to RET-ADD. I've been asked a few times over the last few weeks just exactly how hard is it to grow pineapples, and because I've been giving them away, and people want to know, well, can I grow them myself? Sure you can. It's very, very easy. Let me show you what you need. Oh, well, actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you me repotting 5 planters and showing you what it takes to get them up and ready to go for next year. Nothing very difficult. All right, so for right now, let me show you the planters as they are right now. Well, here are the planters as they are right now. You can see that they've been all picked over the last few weeks, and so we don't have any. Wait, what's that back here? Is that what it looks like? Oh yes. Remember the one where I said that there was 2 pineapples on the plant right here? See it? Well, I think it's time to pick him. Let's see if we can get him. Oh, boy, that was difficult, wasn't it? There he is. I'm going to have fresh pineapple again today, or tomorrow, or all week. So taking another look at these planters, as you can see, the mother plant put out tons and tons of little suckers. Normally, well, I would either start with the tops of a plant. In other words, take the top of that, unscrew it from the top, pull down a few leaves, then leave it sitting on the counter to dry. Or if you want to, what you can do is what I did here, which is actually put it in some place, and if you look real close, you can see the roots growing out, so you get a little head start. That's always nice. But what else do you need? Well, you'll need a hose with water in it. Useful, right? And some soil. I use these from gardeners.com, the self-watering potting mix, because that's 22 dry quarts, and it weighs virtually nothing. They dry them out, and this stuff has super root booster with some sort of growing stuff to help with your plants grow better. And I just needed, for these planters, I just needed to fill up what I take out when I pulled out the old plants. And if you also look down there, you can see I have some Miracle Grow Shake and Feed, which is really the citrus ones, but I find that works perfectly fine. And I want to throw a cupful in each planter just to make sure that everything is going to go fine. What else do I need? Well, in this case, I'm going to have lots of plants to throw away, of old plants and roots. So I got my bag and my garbage can, and I'm ready to go. I used to, put it into a compost bin and keep all that, but I'm getting a little older, a little tired. So what am I going to be doing? 1, yanking all of that out. Yes, all of that has to come out of there. And then find out which of those sucker plants is the biggest and the best, and that's what I'll repot. And may use the same one from that plant over to here or whatever. If you could look, there's lots of babies there this time. If I knew I was going to be here next year to get the fruits of my labor, I would probably take and put out 4 or 5 more planters and have even more fruit. But for this year, well, I'm going to just refill the ones that I have, and there's planters all around this yard. All right, so I'm going to give you a bird's eye view of me doing this. Let's see how it works. First, all of this has got to come out. Oh my. A normal person would wear gloves. Me? Not this time. Come on out of there. Whoa. This is a tough plant. So what I'm doing is I'm digging underneath the roots, trying to get some leverage so I can pull this out of there. Oh my goodness gracious. There we go. Look at that. All of it hitting the ground. And now I'll take the time to get rid of any weeds out of here. Certainly don't need them. And I'm going to go through this soil and try and pull out any excess big roots. So give me a few seconds here to dig through here and reach down and deep into there. And if I find any roots, remove them so that the next plant will have lots of places to grow. Alright, we're digging down here. Nothing much in here, this one. Actually, this planter is in pretty good shape for the next year. Sometimes they are, sometimes they're not. Here's some roots. Okay. If there are old roots in there, of course they will become just more compost. But you also want to make sure that the soil is loose for the next plant. And so that's basically, I'm doing a little of both here by digging in deep, really deep, and pulling out what's needed. This planter doesn't even really need much soil, if any. Actually, I don't think I'm going to add any soil. So, what I will add is, like I said, a cup of fertilizer. So let's take this and add a cup of fertilizer in there and show you what that looks like. And by the way, don't worry, I also pull weeds as I do things wherever I'm at, because I can't stand them and I have no choice but to pull them. They're here, they gotta go. Anyway, so here you go. There's the fertilizer now, and I'll just mix that in so that it doesn't burn the new roots that'll be coming along. Get it nice and in there in the first foot or so. There we go. I'll remove some more roots as I see them. There we go. We now have a planter that looks pretty damn good, or pretty darn good. And so we will find what plant we're going to put in there. Now I could put that one where I have the roots, but I really don't need to, because down here in Florida, you can grow, I don't know, I used to say if I took my cane, my wood cane, put it in the ground, next week I'd have a freaking oak tree. So I'm going to pull this lovely sucker out of there. Let's see, is there any others that I prefer? No, that one looks pretty good. I mean, there's lots of others in here. See, now here's one I won't use. Notice how he's bent that way? That means by the time I pulled it off, you'd have to go in like this deep into the ground, and it just wouldn't look all that good. Here's a sucker, it's about the same way. I mean, if I absolutely have to, I'd use them, but here's another sucker. And here's another good one. So that plant had lots of suckers in there. So I have my choice between this one and that one. Well, which one would you take? The bigger one. Now, how hard is it to plant these things? Oh, let's dig a hole in the center. Let's go like that. Let's plant it in there. Right in the center. Let's put dirt around it. Push down the dirt around it so it's nice and firm. You have something that looks like this. And guess what? All I need to do now is water. In a few days, those roots will grow, and we'll have another plant. Really tough. Now I need to repeat the same thing for the other 4 planters. And one of them, I'm going to put the one with the roots. I'll take one of the small planters and put him in there. So I'm going to turn you off so that I can rapidly do this and keep my breath at the same time. You know, I'm not trying to talk. But when I'm back, you'll see that all of them are empty. Well, I'm going to finish this up quickly because the camera doesn't like to be out here in the Florida heat. As you can see, there are now 5 pots. And one of those pots, 2 of those pots are new. What can I say? They old ones were so filled with roots and such, I couldn't get them clean. Here are the 5 old plants. The mamas are all stripped their suckers. You can see I pulled all those roots out of that dirt that I threw over there in the corner to help keep the animals out. There's the old pots and some old bags. Ended up taking 5 bags of dirt only because I had to refill all this stuff. But as you can see, they're looking pretty good. I did want you to see that if you look real closely in there, you can see the irrigation lines. I have them, there's their drip irrigation, so I can turn on zones in my backyard, and that'll allow them to water just the areas I want. I have little shutoffs, tiny little shutoffs on these things, so I can pick exactly which plant. But I wanted you to see this. This is the reason I didn't get around to using the one in the jar, or the class. Look at that. See, roots? These are suckers with roots. Even better than plants with out of the water or whatever. They came right off out of the planters, and therefore I was able to save them. Now what I'm going to do is take some of this mulch and put it over the... You can't really see that, can you? Okay, now you can. Put the mulch over the top of the roots in an attempt to allow them to stay moist once I rewater them, and so until I use them on all the other planters. These here, there's the one in the jar, the cup. These are all the suckers I got off those 5 plants. This is what keeps Dole in business. They plant 1 plant, they get 4 plants back. Don't forget, you get the one off the top. Well, I planted 5 plants, and there's got to be at least 20 suckers here. I had 5 tops, at least 6 actually, when you count this one had 2, and all of those with roots. These are all going to be good in another year-ish. So that's as tough as it is to do it. I now have plants all over the yard that I need to do, but I'm not going to do it on the camera because, quite frankly, this is tiring. It took a long time to do with these. And I need to clean up. Whew. That is hot work out there. Right now it is pushing 96, 98 degrees out there. So I'm hot, tired, sweaty, and ready to jump in the pool. I did want you to let you know that's all it takes to grow pineapples is a little sweat, a little dirt, a little fertilizer. I throw them in pots, but you could do them in the ground. I like the pots because that means that I have some control over things like watering, like I showed you with the drip irrigation. And it's going to be another harvest in about a year or so, hopefully for somebody. I've got another 6-8 planters to do, at least. There's a few that haven't ripened yet. So I will get to them probably tomorrow morning. Right now, like I said, I'm going to hit the pool. Yeah, I'm going to hit that. We need some pool time. Yes. But for you, I hope you enjoyed learning a little bit. And I hope you are enjoying the trip with me as I try to figure out how to retire in the next 150 what odd days. And I'm sure I can do it. But for now, enjoy life. Thank you. Just thought I'd let you see what happens after you're done pulling all those plants and you're now ready to throw them away. This is what I have to take out to the curb. See all those bags? They're 60-gallon bags. Oh, wait. There's more. Have a good day.